Hey everyone, it's Miss Welch. This week we are going to be doing a math mystery for math called The Case of the Magnificent Growth Mindset. And this video is just to give you some quick directions on how to solve and use the math mystery on Google Classroom. All right, so I first want to go to the kind of setup of it. Oops, I don't know why that did that. Sorry. Pause. Okay. So, the math mystery. Our reporters are searching far and wide across the country to find the student who demonstrates a magnificent growth mindset. The winner will win a special golden trophy. Nominations from the schools listed below are in the running to receive the trophy this year: Manhattan Elementary, Reedville Elementary, Tailtown Elementary. Everyone is wondering who the champion will be, but finding the winner is proving to be a difficult task. Many of the students in the running to win this competition possesses amazing qualities, attitudes, and beliefs towards life and learning. That is why Manhattan headquarters are calling upon one of their most hard-working and dedicated math detectives to help solve which one of the student nominees should win the Magnificent Growth Mindset title this year. Which nominee has a magnificent growth mindset? The nominees are listed on the following page with important information collected from their interviews. This information will help the detective during the investigation. Math detective, use your amazing math skills to help find the winner of the trophy. We are counting on you. Okay, so you are going to be the math detective, and you're going to be using the clues and your math skills to figure out which student is the winner of the golden trophy. So I want to send you to this page for a second. Oops, I always mess that up for some reason. So this page is your possible winner. So these are all the students that it possibly could be, but there's only going to be one winner of the trophy. Now, if you see, there's different categories at top, like elementary school that they go to. When I make a mistake, I believe that these are what the kids think. Some kids think mistakes are bad. Some think mistakes help me learn. Another category is when I don't receive the feedback that I want to hear. I feel like a failure. I look for ways to improve. When tasks get tough, I keep trying. I give up. And when others are successful, I feel inspired. I feel threatened. So these are what the kids, when asked by a reporter, how they felt when they made mistakes, when they get feedback, when work gets hard, when they feel successful. So you're going to have to use these clues to help you eliminate choices. And I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes to show you. Okay, so what you'll have to do is there's 5 clue pages. And it says each clue has different types of math that you'll need to use. So you're going to complete the addition to reveal the first clue. Use your answers to match and place the letters in the boxes to see what you discover. Put the letter in every box that it matches your answer. There may be more than one. The first one is done already. So they showed you an example that they added. Every problem on this page, there's adding. But it looks like there's going to be regrouping. All right, so you got to remember how to do your 3-digit plus your 3-digit regrouping. All right, so they forgot to show because 8 plus 6 is 14. They kept the 4 in the ones place. They just forgot to show on their work that they regrouped a 10. And 1 10 plus 4 tens is 5 tens. 5 tens plus 5 tens is 10 tens. They kept the 0 in the tens place. They regrouped the 1 to the hundredths place because 10 tens is really 100. And then 100 plus 200 is 300, plus 1 more is 400. That's how they got their answer, 404. It is very important to show your work. Now, you might not be able to show your work on the actual paper like they couldn't. They probably did their work on a white piece of paper and then typed in their answer. So then you look up at the clue box, and wherever you see the number 404, because that was your answer, you plug in the letter S. So there's 404. There's 404, there's 404. So you'll have to do the same for the rest of them, and whatever the letter, it matches up. After, you're going to get a clue. And it's going to tell you a clue. Using that clue, you can go back to this page, and I'm going to show you in a second again how to eliminate them by crossing them out. But you can cross off ones that do not fit. So for instance, I don't know what that first clue says, but let's say the winner is from Tailtown Elementary School. So you would go and find everyone that is in Tailtown, and you would keep that person because the winner's at Tailtown Elementary School. But Barry Banana, he's from Reedville Elementary School, so you would have to cross him out. Oh, Gimpy the Goblin's from Manhattan Elementary School. Oh, you have to cross him out because the clue says only from Tailtown Elementary School. Now, that's not the answer to clue 1. I was just giving you an example of how you would get rid of choices that do not fit the clue. So you're always looking for an answer here for your clue to eliminate choices on that choice page. So clue 2 is about subtraction. And I am going to say there is definitely regrouping where you're going to need to decompose. So it's going to take some work to remember your adding and subtracting skills that we've been using all year long. Again, after you get a clue answer, you go back to that clue page back here, and you get rid of more choices. So your goal is by the end to only have one choice left to figure out which one of these students is the winner of that golden trophy. All right, so we have addition and subtraction. We have a multiplication page, so you got to practice your multiplication. Again, once you get an answer like 5 groups of 3, I know I can skip count by 5 3 times. 5, 10, 15. So my answer here would be 15, which is O. Anytime I saw the number 15, I would go in and put a letter O, and I would continue on with the rest of my work. Once I have that clue finished, then I can go back to the elimination page and get rid of more choices. All right, clue 4 is all about the value of a digit. So what is the value? So like the first one, 4,144. Well, the underlined digit, it's in the tens place. So that 4 is not worth a 4, it's worth a 40. Or like here, 256,124. That 1 is in the hundredths place value, so it's not worth 1, it's actually worth a 100. So I would find all the 100s up here. If like here's 100, I would type in the letter L, and I would keep doing that for all of them. And then once I have my clue again completed, I go back to that first page where I can cross off more choices that don't make sense because we're trying to eliminate them. All right, and the last clue is about rounding. Now, it's very important to read the directions carefully because some of the numbers you're going to round to the nearest 10. Some of the numbers they want you to round, they want you to round to the nearest 100. So 562, okay? 562 to the nearest 10. Well, I know 562 is between 560 and 570. So you might need to use your number lines to practice. These are skills that we've learned this year that we want you to be reviewing, especially because you're going to need to know this for 4th grade, especially at the beginning of the year, because that's the first unit in 4th grade is when you're practicing your rounding skills again, your adding skills, your subtraction skills, your multiplication skills. So all this is very important to get you ready for 4th grade. As you can see, 79, 79, I know is in between 70 and 80. Well, 79 is really close to 80, so I'm going to say that I'm going to round that to 80. I will say I think clue 5 might be the most challenging for some of you. Please remember to use your number lines and your rounding skills to help. Again, once you get your final clue, you can go back to that main page and cross out some answers. Okay, when you think you know who the winner is, what student, when you have only one name left, you can type your name here. This is who you think is the winner out of that class list from all those nominations. Who wins the golden trophy based on the clues. You'll submit it to me, and I will check off well done if you have the correct person. And if you have the incorrect person, I'll have you go back and check over your work. So now what I want to do is I want to exit out of this, and I want to show you on the page, because it's what's going to look like on your Google slide page. So it's the first page, the second page. This is what I really wanted to show you, and I'm going to zoom in, and this is how you guys can zoom in too if you're not sure. You use the zoom button over here to zoom in and out. So let's just pretend, like I said, that the first clue, the winner is from Tailtown Elementary School. Now, you might be wondering, well, Miss Welch, how are we going to cross off the people that it's not? So what you're going to do is you're going to go up here to where it's a select line, and you're going to use the arrow. And what you do is, if like this one doesn't make sense, we're going to cross off, because if they're not from Reedville, then everything about them gets crossed off. So even if one thing doesn't fit, the whole line gets crossed off. And I'm going to just use red because that's easier for me to see. Okay, so anyone that's not in Tailtown, everything about them gets crossed out. So remember, this is just an example. Gimpy the Goblin, he's from Manhattan, and we said my example was from Tailtown. So everything about Gimpy the Goblin, because if he's not from that school, nothing else matters. He's not the winner of the Golden Trophy. Oh, Goldilocks is from Tailtown, so she could stay. Now, later, we might find out another clue that might get rid of Goldilocks or might get rid of Little Red. Even though they go to Tailtown, there might be another clue that gives you more detail about who we should cross out and who the winner should be. All right. Olivia Orange is from Reedville. That's not Tailtown for my example. So I'm going to take my arrow and everything. And everything about Olivia Orange is getting crossed out with my red. Okay, so like I said, then every clue might be different. So again, you might go to clue 2 and it says, when I make mistakes, I believe that they help me. Well, Little Red says mistakes are bad. Even though she's from Tailtown, she said mistakes are bad. But the winner, when talking to the reporter, said, oh, mistakes help me learn. So then I could cross out Little Red. So even though Little Red was safe from the first clue, she still might get crossed out in the second clue based on new information you're learning. That's what detectives do. They investigate further and further to really understand what's happening and what's going on. And that's how they solve the crime, or they solve the mystery in this case. So once you think there's one person left, then that person you would type down here for me to agree with. But I have to see all your work too. So here you can type your, I don't know what letter is, S-T-U. And if you make a mistake, all you have to do is click on the box. So I'm needing all the clues. And if you see how I just did that, I bet a lot of you will do this, where if the blue highlighted box goes away, you can't type in it anymore. You'll have to just push the back button over here to get your text box back. So you really got to make sure before you click delete that you have that blinking cursor again. All right, so this is your work for the week. My suggestion is maybe doing a page or 2 a day. I know you only have 3 days and there's 5 clues. Some clue pages, like the multiplication, might go a little bit quicker, but I would like you to do them in order. So work on clue 1 first, clue 2, clue 3, clue 4, and clue 5. All right. So good luck to you.